You want to buy a house in Lehigh Acres, Florida, but you don't know where to start. Listen, by the end of this video, you know where to start and you will know what the steps you need to take in order to achieve your dreams, in order to achieve your goals. All right, let's dive into this video. Alright, before we dive into this video, let me introduce myself. My name is Alek Petrov. I am here, your local real estate agent in Southwest Florida. Listen, in this video, I'll give you 5 steps that you need to take, in order to achieve your goals, in order to relocate to Lehigh Acres, Florida, in order to buy your first home, or if you're an investor. I kind of shine some light on all the aspects of it, and there's gonna be 5 steps total in this video. So watch this video till the end, and hopefully it's gonna be educational. Hopefully it's gonna be helpful for you. And if you want these 5 steps emailed to you in more detail, you can just comment below, say Lehigh, and I will send you all the information. I will reach out to you personally, and we'll kind of build out in your individual relocation guide, your individual investment guide as well. I'll connect you with the builders, whatever you got to do in order to get you relocated to Southwest Florida. In this specific video, we're talking about Lehigh Acres, Florida. All right, number 1, friends, it's understand the market. You need to understand, because there's like over 3,000 homes for sale today on the market. And you need to understand you can get something small, you can get something spacious, big, something cozy and very small, older and newer, which you have a lot newer, but you do also have some older homes here in Lehigh Acres, Florida. There is some condominiums, there is some some little villas and on the golf course, HOAs and stuff like that. So, and there's a majority of it, of course, it's not an HOA, home association. Go check it out. We're talking about what is home association, what to look out when you buy a home association property. But you need to understand Lehigh Acres, Florida. It's big. It's not corporated. It's incorporated, and that is very important. Understand the market, understand what is the money that you're paying for, where it's located, where this whole town is growing, which areas are growing. For example, like Buckingham area around here on the Buckingham Road towards by the recycling area. This whole build out there is getting crazy out there. I know some local people is not happy about all these build outs. I know they are trying to protest and kind of keep the Buckingham more countryside, even though it's like a Fort Myers area, but it's a northwest of Lehigh as well, kind of touches it, part of it. And I hope they're going to stay the Buckingham. It's going to stay the Buckingham, more country. They said some hillbilly areas, but it's a nice hillbillies. By the way, they just had an amazing parade here on the Christmas. It was epic. It was fun. We loved it, every bit of it. But anyway, step number 2, guys. First, we need to understand the market, right? And I know there's gonna be negative comments here. I'm gonna say it's a dump, Lehigh Acres, Florida. There's crime rates and so on and so on. And that's what you need to understand. That's what there's gonna be the next steps. It's gonna be so important. Is always, you can go any city, there's gonna be crimes. Any city you can go there's gonna be some areas gonna be dump, some areas gonna be nice. And that's the reality of it. That's the reality we live in. I always tell them, people say, oh, it's a dump. I say, hey, go check it out, some West Coast cities. It's a big dump, and telling you, it's a lot different. All right, it's kind of getting sidetracked off the topic, but anyway, let's get back to point number 2. Number 2, it is setting your budget, right? You need to understand, like I talk in other videos as well, the employment and stuff, like where you have to travel, the insurances, all the details. Go check it out in my other video where I dive in more in details. But you need to set the budget. You need to set what is your maximum. And I always say, like, don't go too high. Try to always be in the mid-range. Don't go too low and then go too high. I mean, the mid-range. Pick out the number so you don't break your back trying to make the payments and stuff like that. If you're renting it, or if you're gonna be buying a house here. In this video, I'm more kind of diving into buyer presentation, kind of buyer guide here. So setting the budget is very, very important. And that way, because with the budget, you can set what your desire is: a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, whatever your heart is desiring. That's what you're gonna set yourself up for. Okay, so number 3. You guys ready for number 3? And that's number 3 is gonna kind of destroy the negative comments in this video. If anybody can comment, because I know there's some comments in my other video. People are very negative about the roads. They're very negative about Lehigh Acres, Florida. But let me tell you, 10 years ago, Cape Coral was the same, we can say in quote, dump, right? Same dump is Lehigh today. So what that means in 10 years, Lehigh, even less than 10 years, I bet my money on it. You can comments below. We'll talk in 10 years. I'll guarantee you, in 10 years, it's not gonna be the same. The house that I bought a couple of years ago and the lots I could have bought here around me for $4,000, $5,000, right? Today, a lot just down the street right here, just outside my window, they're selling for $25,000. Cape Coral, it was the same thing. It was $7,000. It went to 25, 35. Now it's like $50,000 to get a lot. That's good location, right? Yes, you can get in the outskirts for 35, but it's still. Anyway, let's get back to number 3 is finding the right neighborhood. Like I always tell my clients, listen, it's always good to drive by. Photos, when you see photos on Zillow, Realtor.com, any other websites, they look nice, they look beautiful, right? Especially if you do some extra Photoshop, especially if the listing agent kind of did extra work on it, it's gonna look good. But I always say, you know what? You're not gonna make a mistake if you go up north Lehigh or if you go down south, because those two areas are getting developed. And I've been out here for more than a few years. I haven't seen a crime, not a single crime here in my area. There is some, of course, in Lee Boulevard, closer to kind of downtown. You see the crime rate there is a little bit higher, but it's an older town. There is some, some crimes out there happening, and there's some that kind of lifestyle that people live out there. It's a little bit more challenging, we can say, right? But for the sake of this video and not going into details about it, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm telling you, if you pick north, if you pick south, you're not gonna have any issues. And again, there's always a bad apple that will roll by you, and things happen. But I'm telling you, even the best town, the low crime rate, you're not guaranteed safe. You're not, it's something's gonna happen. I'm sorry, it does happen. Living life, you can protect yourself to the best ability, and that's why we live in our state where we believe our Second Amendment very powerful. So I'm telling you guys, if you keep the south or north, you're not gonna make mistakes. Of course, there's some areas you definitely want to go drive out there, go check it out. And kind of that rolls into a number 4 is kind of finding a realtor that is local here in Lehigh Acres, Florida, that can explain to you which areas are good. So number 4, number 3 is kind of picking your neighborhood, right? So it's like when you set the budget, you know what you want. Number 3, basically, it's finding the neighborhood. And that kind of question, you can circle on the Lehigh neighborhoods, and they can reach out. Number 4 is reaching out to a realtor that here locally. He can tell you and explain you. Or if you have a friends here, that will been living here for at least more than a year, then they can some will tell you that which areas are good, which areas to avoid, which area to stay away completely, right? So the majority of agents are doing a pretty good job on educating clients and telling them what's out there, what's to look out for, which areas are good, which areas are bad, and in the end, it's your choice where you want to choose to live, where you want to call a place your own home. All right, number 4, again, it was finding a realtor. And number 5, when you find a realtor, you find some couple homes with the agent, they find you some good neighborhoods, they say, hey, this neighborhood's good, this area is good, this area is good. Then after that, it's go schedule a tour. Just don't, if you're out of state buyer, listen, you need to take this step. If you have your agent go out there and do a tour, listen, have them do a Zoom call, have them do a FaceTime, whatever device they have or they use. A lot of times I use a Zoom, or I use WhatsApp, or I use a FaceTime. Majority of people have an iPhone, but if you're not an iPhone person, we got you back. We will figure out different ways or Messenger, different way to show you. But what I like to do personally is I'll start from the outside. I'll show the neighborhood. If you can't come down here and do a tour yourself, it's even better. It's coming down here, seeing for your own eyes, seeing the neighborhoods, seeing the homes and places that you have to drive through in order to get to places, because there's canals. It's not as bad as Cape Coral, but there is still canals out here as well that you need to maneuver around it. But that is 5 steps, guys, that I highly advise. This guide, though, if you take these 5 steps, you're not gonna make a mistake. And when you do relocate here, if you move here from Cape Coral, Fort Myers, whatever area you are moving to, Lehigh Acres, Florida, take the steps. You're not gonna regret it, and you're not gonna make a mistake. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. And again, if you want this guide or more breakdown for you, tailored for you specifically, just comment below Lehigh and say, hey, I need this guide. I will send you personally, and we'll talk with you, and we'll tailor it for you, exactly for you. All right. Well, I hope hope this video was helpful. Go check out my other videos where I dive in more in details about villas, about condos, about, you know, town versus towns and restaurants. To go check it out, right? Where I talk about more about Lehigh Acres, Florida. And I would love to see you on my next video. And don't forget to subscribe it. Don't forget to hit the bell button, so when the next video comes out about Lehigh or any towns here in Southwest Florida, you get notified and you will see it when it's coming. I'm usually posting every Wednesday at 6 p.m. my time. Usually the video goes live, and also do some show content as well in my reels. Go check it out. Anyways, well, not reels, it's short for YouTube. All right, it's Alek Petrov being with you guys, and I'm super happy to see you guys watching this video to the end. All right, don't forget, hit the like button as well. All right, God bless.